like, who taught you how to take care of yourself?
Mm.
And, like, for good or bad, right? Who taught you that, it's important to take time out, it's important to tend to yourself, mind, body, spirit? Who taught you that it's not okay and that's, not what strong women and wives and mothers do? And I always get this feedback of, well, nobody taught me, or I never saw my mother take a nap, or I never saw my mother cry, or I never saw my mother, leave the house without at least one of the kids,
Yeah.
And so once you start to really break that down and you start to think about it, I have a blog post on my website about that, like, who taught you how to take care of yourself. And it's 10 questions that you ask yourself to really get to the heart of, okay, what do I believe about self-care? And does this information, do these beliefs still serve me in this current season of my life? And most of the time it doesn't. And we need to develop a new mindset and develop a new way of looking at it, where we are pouring into ourselves so that our cup stays full, and that we are giving to people from our overflow, and not really running around on fumes and being angry that we don't have enough left to give to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I always say to women, once you've done that mindset shift and everything, and you're like, okay, I want to take care of myself now, I believe that I deserve it, I believe that it's my birthright, I always tell women to start off with doing something for you in the morning and doing something for you in the evening. So in the morning, it could be, having like a little, tea corner in your kitchen, whatever your favorite flavored coffee is, reading a book, doing some journaling, doing some meditation, watching a quick episode of whatever your favorite Netflix show is, some stretches, whatever. Do something in the morning that kind of centers you, and you pour into yourself before you let the outside world in. I think that's super, super important, a great way to start taking care of yourself. And then at night, my favorite thing, and it's such a small thing, but my favorite thing is to shower by candlelight. Oh,
wow.
I love it. I
that
love
sounds
it.
Luxurious.
And it's like, you're going to shower anyway, right? But turning the lights off and lighting a candle makes it feel like you're in a movie or something. Like, it's just really sensual, and it adds a certain element to, an everyday thing that's already in your routine.
Right.
But for me, like, that helps me transition, and I can really literally visualize, like, the stress of the day, or the decisions that, I had to make today, things that didn't go quite the way I planned. I can literally visualize all of that kind of like washing off my body and down the drain. And that really kind of helps put the day in perspective for me, and that I'm not carrying the same things over day after day after day. So that's one of the things that I always say, like, start and end your day for yourself, and then you'll reap the benefits.
And I love the shower by candlelight, because I'm not a big bath person. I hear people say, I like to soak, and, for like a half an hour. That doesn't do much for me, but like a shower, that is awesome. Like, and it's not much. You just light a candle.
That's it. It's just, I'm like, where are my matches? Where's my candle? Don't move my stuff. But yeah, I'm a huge bath person. I love baths, but then you got to scrub the tub first. You got to do all this. Where's my bath bombs? Where's this? And then I got to get up. Like, it's a lot that goes into a bath. Like, there's a lot of work before you can relax. So I usually will have a bath like on Friday nights or, Saturday nights, something like that. But when I don't have the energy or the desire, get a candle, shut those lights off, and it's perfect.
Yeah, I like that. And that makes it very approachable. And that was my next question. You have a lot going on. You're a mother, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur, you're a speaker, you're a writer. How do you practice self-care while managing it all?
Yeah. So I will tell you, I am quick to take a mental health day. I don't know about anyone else, but I am quick to be like, wow, I've worked really hard the past 7 days. I think today is going to be a mental health day. I really, really, really believe in checking in with myself on a regular basis to just really see and I have certain tells, and I always tell women to pay attention to your tells. Your body tells you when you've been doing too much or when you need to slow down. One of my tells is that my nails will get brittle and like they'll keep breaking. And I'm like, okay, like what, what's going on? Or if I find myself picking my lips, or if I find myself just really, like my kids are good monitors. Like they'll tell me, Mom, you keep, yawning. Or, they'll, clue me into certain things as well that I might be missing.
Children are brutally honest.
They are. Or my son is like, you keep sighing. Are you okay?
Or like my daughter will sometimes say, Mom, you look really tired. Are you all right? And it's like, wow, do I really?
Exactly. So sometimes it's like you got to pay attention. Like, oh, okay, I do look tired. I do feel tired. Or right. I do keep sighing. I must be frustrated. Like
right.
So yes, I really try to check in with myself, and when I notice those things, then I'm like, okay, is it time for a mental health day? Do I need to? I go to therapy once a month now, and that is extremely helpful in helping me. And like my therapist was saying, like, you don't have to be in crisis to be in therapy. And I really had to internalize that, because I would have a tendency to go to therapy when I'm going through a difficult season. And as soon as the difficult season is over, I have a better handle on it. Then I'm like, okay, I don't need therapy anymore. Bye-bye. Mm-hmm. And then before you know it, it was like, oh, another difficult season. I got to find, a new therapist. My therapist moved. Like, it's better for me, I've discovered, to have that, because therapy is one of the few safe spaces where you do not have to exert any type of mental energy on somebody else's behalf. Right. It's really like dump your problems, get solutions to your problems, and go. It's not, you don't have to sit and ask them how they're doing, or do they have the bandwidth to handle you right now. That's literally what they're there for. And I find that so important, because you can't always, your friends might not always be available, or they may have their own stresses, or your spouse might be, having their own thing. But a therapist, I found, has been invaluable in my journey.
Right. And I'm so happy that more people are using therapists as well, and it's not a big stigma anymore, because you're right. Sometimes you need someone to talk to, and it might not be a crisis, just to bounce things off there. And not everyone's always available. And also, like, people who are closest to you may have their own biases. They might say something that really annoys you. And so it's really good to have that neutral person just to talk to.
Yeah.
So I see that your speaking is a big part of your business model. For listeners who are looking to add speaking to their portfolio of business, how would you suggest them going about building their clients?
Yeah, so speaking is something that I kind of, I've always wanted to do, and generally I started by hosting my own events. Hosting my own events, even if they were free, just to be able to say, okay, I can do this. I can draw a crowd. I can, transform a room, and getting that confidence in myself first. And that was really key. I mean, you can do that by even just, having, looking at your local libraries and seeing if they have meeting rooms. It's usually free to have it in there. But that's what I did for a little while, was just to be able to bring people together. And once I had that confidence, obviously you go about, getting testimonials. You go about, updating the website and kind of getting your signature talks together. And then it was just really all about networking. And I really have found that just placing yourself in different rooms and letting people know what you do and how good you are at it, those opportunities will come to you. I had coffee with one woman from my alma mater last April, and that turned into 4 speaking engagements.
Wow.
And she just like, hey, I need somebody to come and talk to my seniors about leadership, or hey, I need somebody to come in to talk to my freshmen about, your life's passion. Like, it just kept coming over and over again. And so I think that really when you when you have that first one, when you have that first opportunity in front of you, really milk it and really, get the testimonial and get, feedback from the crowd, get pictures and video of it so you can post that on your website. But really, really take advantage of any opportunity that you have to be in front of an audience so that you can parlay that into more opportunities down the line.
And I like that you start small. I think sometimes everyone sees people who are doing major events like, oh, wow, I can never get to that point. But start small. Local libraries, you can get a free community room and have a free event and just start from there. That makes a lot of sense. So what's next for you with your business? You're constantly evolving. You're amazing at what you do. What do you see next for Tara Jefferson as well as Self-Care Suite?
Yeah, so I am really trying to travel a bit more because I find that in one trend that I'm noticing, and I'm not the only one, but one trend that I'm noticing in society today is that things are increasingly individualized and things are increasingly set up so that we really don't have to interact with other people unless we choose to. So like even things with like DoorDash and Instacart and, all of these areas where we might be leaving the house, it's becoming optional. And so I really want to make sure that as we become a more technologically advanced society, that we are still having those opportunities for community, because I believe that community is life-affirming. I think it's life-saving, and I feel like that's my mission. So I want to have more monthly sister circles in different cities. We've been to Atlanta, Chicago, D.C., Cleveland. We're getting ready to head to New York and Raleigh, North Carolina. And I just want to keep traveling and keep bringing women together. We're going to have, I believe, 2 retreats next year for the first time. So that's going to be really exciting.
That's awesome,
to move from 1 to 2. I just really want to keep bringing women together and really allow them to get to know the other women in their community. If you are not, maybe have a church home or you don't not in like a professional organization, like it's hard to meet people.
It is, especially if you get older.
It is. It's hard to meet people. You usually end up making friends with like your kids' friends, parents, and it's like, well, I don't really like them. So it's like, how do I meet people who are like really, I really vibe with? And so I really believe that that's part of my purpose here, is to make those connections and help people find their squad so that they can grow.
Tell us a little bit more about sister circles. You talked about the retreat. What sister circles in all these cities that you're having, and where the next ones will be?
Yeah, so the sister circles are really, they're almost kind of like a mini retreat in a way. But these sister circles are only about 3 hours or so. But what it is a opportunity for women in a certain city, certain region to come together for about 3 hours. We have the food, obviously, and then we also have, I always gotta have food.
You have to.
You have to. And so we'll have that, and then we'll have, obviously, each of them are around a theme. So like this year's Sister Circles are our What Does It Mean series. So what does it mean to have joy? What does it mean to heal? What does it mean to thrive, et cetera, et cetera. And so we will have small group discussions where we'll talk about the theme in general. Each person gets a chance to kind of share their thoughts on the theme and how it relates to them in their life. And then we have some type of self-care activity. And so that might be, small group acupuncture. It might be a group healing circle with some Reiki. It might be earlier this year at our Cleveland Sister Circle, we had it at a flower bar. So after we had our discussion, each person got to create their own bouquet to kind of
that's really nice.
Visually represent our discussion on what it meant to thrive.
That's
And
really nice. Yeah.
yeah, so just there's like a hands-on activity at each one, and also to kind of give women an opportunity to maybe do something they